Hello and welcome back to Accessible Photography. Today I'm in Edinburgh. Yes, I'm actually in the city. And what I'm doing is, zooming this the wrong way, I'm going to take the classic image over the top of the city. And I'm a bit out of breath because I'm running late, because this is Edinburgh and it takes 20 minutes to go about a mile in the car, so I'm a bit later back from work than I expected. I'm heading up Calton Hill to get a lovely view. The sun is already going down. I wanted to get the sun in the shot. Hopefully I'll manage. Let's see what I get in a few minutes. So as we walk up the path here in the video, I'm just going to jump in and say a couple of things before we get started at the main location. And I apologise because they are slightly apologetic, and that is kind of twofold. The first being, I haven't vlogged for a while, and that's because I've not been 100% well. And part of that not being well was a bit of a dose of anxiety issues. So this maybe wasn't the best venue for me, to be perfectly honest. I thought, because it'd been before years ago, that it'd be pretty dead. It was heaving with people, and vlogging to camera with lots of people around, it's not good. It's not really the best. So I'm not talking to camera quite as openly and as well as I should do. Sorry about that. But that's the way it went. The pictures came out well, so I'm going with it. The other thing I'm going to apologise for is when I do actually talk to camera, I'm using this, which is the DJI Pocket 2. And if you read the reviews on this, they say quite clearly it doesn't perform well in low light. And although it looks quite bright on camera, it was actually dusk, the sun was going down, the light level wasn't great. And the camera decides, now it's not got a focus on it, but it decides not to focus on me, it wanted to focus on the background. I've done the best I can to make the footage viewable. I hope you stick with it, because I think it's quite a nice location with some good photographs. I'll speak to you at the end. See you soon. So I've taken the ISO down to f16 to get a nice depth of field. The sun's now very low and getting a lot of glare, a lot of flare on the lens just now because it's directly into the lens. It might need a bit of a clean, so I'll give the lens a bit of a wipe. Right, doing that I'll lose my focus, so let's just refocus on what I want. So I'm focusing on the Canon. Right, everything from there that way. So basically everything from a couple of meters to infinity is in focus, and it's looking good. So I take a picture just now at f16 1/3 of a second, which is greatly overexposed, it says. Then I'm going to take it at the correct exposure. And I'm going to take it underexposed, so it's a 30th of a second at f16. Oh, I had somebody walk in the way just as I did that. So I've got 3 images there with the sun going down, and it looks quite nice. I'll just take lots more to get a good range of depth of colour and contrast. So this should work if people aren't standing in the way, of course. Right. So I'm going for the not quite so overexposed. Middle again. 2-second timer each time. And then underexposed. That's quite good. So I'm also set for cloudy conditions, which means I'll get a bit more colour into the sky as well. So it gives a nice more oranginess into there. Adjusting the position very slightly, so there are people in the way. Actually wondering whether to take it lower. So I've adjusted the position to get it slightly lower, makes the cannon more prominent in the image. The question is, do I want more sky or do I want more cobbles? I'm just going to keep doing this until we get the shot. No! Go on, go on. It's cold, isn't it? Hat's hiding in here somewhere. Could do with that in there as well. Oh, they always look better on the phone. What I want to do is go back around a bit. Am I getting that in? So if I get a bit lower, I can actually get the spires of St. Giles Cathedral in as well. And hopefully it'll be a good shot. Yeah. Sorry, I'm vlogging at the same time. Yabbering away to himself. What's he up to? Yeah. So I'm going down to 80th of a second at f16 to get the cloud to look good, but to get everything else, bring up the shadows, there I'm having to go to 2.5 of a second, f16. I might even change it to f20 and try and get a bit more in focus. It's not really doing much.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a Nikon. Do you have a spare battery? I'm so sorry. Is it
Just for this?
Yeah, I have one picture. I just want.
What model is it, mate?
Mine is D750 full frame.
Oh yeah, no problem, mate.
Thank you.
I will hunt you down and kill you
I
if you
will
don't give it
come
back.
Don't worry. Just stay here.
And he runs away. My battery! So I assume Chinese tourists has just borrowed one of my batteries and may never see it again. Could be interesting. So I think I might have something here. I'm hoping I'm going to get a good image. Of course, the sun's now pretty much gone down, but this is now when we get lots of light in the sky. There's some nice colour over to one side, very bright straight ahead of us as usual. Well, I think I've got one image. I'm wondering if I could move around and get another. I'm hoping this one came out really well. It's going to be a case of mixing 3 or 4 images together to get what I want though, because I didn't bring a filter. And if any filter company watches this, please, why don't you sponsor me and give me some nice filters that don't scratch all the time. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, I'm going to get back and see if I can get another image of this wonderful scene over here. So this is working reasonably well, I think.
Yeah, get a few.
So this is my new friend.
He's just borrowed a battery so that he could actually get this sunset photographed as well. And he's a really trustworthy young man, and he's brought that battery back to me.
Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye, folks. So the light is all but gone now, which means the street lights are coming on. So I could get quite an interesting look down Princes Street and across Edinburgh as the lights come on. And it's quite a popular place to take that image just in front of me. So I'm going to squeeze in and see what I can get. So I'm set up in a different position now, looking down the length of Princes Street. So as you get the lights there, and as it gets darker, you get a long exposure, maybe get some trailing lights as well. And landmarks are starting to light up as well. You've got the clock tower of the Balmoral just ahead of me, and the camera obscura on the Royal Mile is lighting up in purple, and hopefully the castle will light up as well, but I'm not sure if it does just now. But the lights are starting to twinkle and come alive, and it's looking really nice. Probably starting to look quite grainy on this camera because it is getting quite dull, and it's just a small sensor on the camera, unlike the stills camera. So I'm doing exactly as I did before, and I'm going to bracket like mad and try and blend some images to get one decent one. Try and get that sky looking nice along with the cityscape and the lights within. So the light in the sky is changing. It's looking beautiful down there. And that's the view there. And what I've done is I've just changed from F8 to F16, F11 should I say. So I had a conversation with this excellent photographer beside me, and did a look at what I was doing and said maybe F11, and so I'm going to go for that. I'm pretty sure that's the best way to be. I'm always sticking to F8 for some reason, I don't know why. F11 is going to be a lot better for the depth of field that I want for this scene. So let's try and capture that colour in the sky there before it disappears. So that was pretty much as I did. I took another couple of photographs really, and then decided enough's enough, it's time to go. I'd already spent nearly an hour and a half there, and I'd actually only booked an hour and a half on the parking at Regent Road. So I thought it's time to head back to the car and head home. I did actually do a goodbye in the car, but it was just so dark it's not worth actually showing. Talking about worth showing, I can't even say it, talking about worth showing is the photographs. I'm really pleased with some of these photographs from the D850. The quality of the 45 megapixel camera is outstanding. This image showing here is actually from the vertical, but zooming in is fantastic. What I also get is that the dynamic range is superb, and it didn't really need to do the bracketing that it was doing. But it's good to show the bracketing for people who have, say, smaller sensor cameras or older cameras that don't have that dynamic range. With this camera, it is absolutely fabulous. When I brought this in, it was pretty dark and pretty boring, really. You can barely see anything in there. It's not overexposed for the lights on the road, but it's kind of underexposed for everything else. But by simply bringing into Lightroom and clicking the auto button, and I get a very presentable, very presentable image, and I can just tweak that a little bit to get it as I want it to show. Unfortunately, sometimes showing it in the film is not as good as seeing it in real life. So on that, I don't promote this, I don't think I've ever really promoted this, you can actually go and see some of my photographs, especially the ones that are in the vlogs, at my website, which is www.accessible.photography. Just simple as that. There's no .com or anything. It's accessible.photography. Go there and you will see some of the images I've done in the past and a lot of the images I've taken during the vlogs. Thank you very much. And also, if you could, like and subscribe this video. Remember to hit the little bell, and that will tell you of my notifications, because I'm not posting as often as I would like because I haven't really been that well, and I can't guarantee when the next one will be coming out. So give that wee bell a tinkle, much appreciated. And what I want to be able to do for you guys, and get you guys to do, is to basically go out and do something similar to me. This was on a trip coming back home from work. I got away slightly early, sneakily early, so I could get up the hill at this right time to take a photograph. So take the camera back to work or something. I know a lot of us are working from home just now, but if you do go into work, take your camera with you and head off to somewhere on the way home. Take a wee sneaky pic or two. It's worth doing, especially if you've got somewhere as beautiful as this close by to get an image of. And say, all I really want you to do is be able to go out, take pictures and have fun. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up next time. Bye for now. Oh, that is just gorgeous. Oh, the detail. Even on the castle. That's awesome. You still there?